Hello everybody, my name is Dratnos, and welcome to my patch 10.2.5 alt gearing catch-up guide, useful for returning players as well. I'm going to try and basically give you a bunch of good ways to get a lot of gear quick on a new character. Obviously, a lot of this is going to be different for a lot of different people, and depending on the types of content you can do, and the stuff you can sneak your alts into, you have a easier or harder time to get some of these resources. But there are some things that are, I think, fairly unknown that are pretty powerful ways to boost up fresh alts. So first thing I want to talk about, and this one has been talked about a little bit, depending on your new character, if you use a boost, it'll be 424. If you're leveling, it'll probably be even lower than that. It'll be, 350, 380, 340, something like that, as it reaches max level. And there's actually a very easy way to get a lot of 447 gear very quick, which is the Dream Surges. So this isn't in the Emerald Dream. This is out in the real world. I have a bunch of add-ons that are putting all these world quests on the map, but you can see whichever zone the Dream Surge is in for the week, and you can collect an absolute boatload of Whelpling's Dreaming Crests by simply flying through these wacky little green things here, right? If you fly through this, you'll get some Dream Surge Coalescence, but you also, and it doesn't show up here, but it shows up in your chat log, you also are picking up like 2 Whelpling's Dreaming Crests each time you do that. So if you just fly around the zone that it's in, it's especially easy. If it's in Thaldraszus, you can literally just fly around Valdrakken, and there you can see these little green things all over the place. Now, the Dream Surge Coalescence themselves, not that useful. You can use that to buy, like, eye level 415, I think, account-wide tradable gear, so can potentially be better than what you've got. But the Whelpling's Crests are actually very useful. So what you can do is once you get to 30 Whelpling's Crests, you can go to this person here, and Doris, and you can buy a nascent Whelpling's Dreaming Crest. Then you can pop on over to the Clerk Silverpaw here, and you can do an Enchanted Whelpling's Dreaming Crest, which you can do a public order with these. The mats here are going to cost you 1,000 or 2,000 gold or something like that, or you could even just put up, a work order like this and put a if you want it done fast, right? Or you can get all the mats yourself. You could put one of these things up, and depending on what your budget is, right? This is not super expensive. You could do this probably for cheaper than this. I've put it up for a little bit more to try and have it get filled instantly here, which may or may not work. But once you get one of those Enchanted Whelpling's Crests, then you can actually use it as an optional reagent in crafted pieces. So these aren't the Spark crafted pieces, but these are things like you can see these things that are base 382. Those are Spark pieces, but these things that are base 330 are actually, you can use an Enchanted Whelpling's Crest, an Enchanted Whelpling's Dreaming Crest, and if this gets maximum qualityed, it will craft for you at eye level 447. So you can use this to get a bunch of gear at 447 in most of your slots. Not really trinkets, but that's one way to pick up just a huge head start to your gearing. A bunch of 447s there. You can see that order got filled. That was probably a little bit overpay for me, but I'm not actually going to craft one of the pieces with it, but I could. Actually, I need to upgrade my shoulders, or I can upgrade my shoulders and get that. Now, one downside of this crafted gear is that you can't turn it into tier. All gear from other sources can be turned into tier. Not all other sources, but all non-crafted sources can be turned into tier over at the Revival Catalyst, which is up over here. And actually, I'm not going to go there right now because the next thing I want to show you is the other source of actually much easier. And you can see sometimes when you fly through that one, you could just get a bunch of these Dream Surge Coalescences. That's like a little bug. Okay, but if you go to the Emerald Dream, so on an alt, if you have a main that already is Renown 20 with the Emerald Dream people, which if you're close, it's really worth it to grab it so that your alts can then get a much faster experience of leveling up, right? Once you have somebody on your account at Renown 20, you get giga sped up gains towards the Dream Wardens on your future characters. Once you do that, then what you can do on your new characters is you can go and do the campaign and a few side quests, and the Kill Fireack quest in the Emerald Dream. And once you do those 3, the Kill Fireack quest unlocks once you get 6 out of 7 chapters done. Once you do that, you can get a alt up to Renown 20 very quickly, and that has a few different benefits. First of all, if you do the Fireack quest, you'll get an Enchanted Worms which I don't actually have any in my bag right now, but you'll get an Enchanted Worms Dreaming Crest for free. And you'll also get one for free once you reach Renown 20 with the Dream Wardens. So you get 2 Enchanted Worms Dreaming Crests, which can then be used. I use them on this character to make 476 rings with a socket. Very good. Very good, very easy gear that you can get for yourself. You'll also need sparks for that, which you get these splintered sparks of dreams from pretty much all content, all like group content that you can do in the game. You'll get a bunch of these, and make sure that you also take the quest from Lady Moonberry here, I think, to give you an extra half of a spark when you get your first half of a spark. And that can set you up then. You can use your first 2 sparks with those 2 Enchanted Worms Dreaming Crests, which take, an hour or 2 of questing and killing Fireack, which you can do even on LFR. And that can get you 2 476s, 2 476 crafted pieces, which you can put an embellishment on, like this embellishment here, to give me extra mastery over 90% health. You just do that all at the crafting person again. Now, this is a little bit more expensive. You're going to have to pay a little bit more gold for the spark crafted pieces. Usually the mats for them are a little bit more pricey, but even then, that's not too expensive. And you can get some pretty good gear pretty quick out of that. Now, you also will want to get your tier pieces, right? Your four set tier piece. This, again, you can use the catalyst on just random gear that drops from any content you do, including LFR, which can be upgraded all the way up to eye level 463, which is quite good. Or you can also, you can get from the Renown vendor, if you get to certain Renown breakpoints, which again, if you're doing this Renown 20 thing on your alts anyways, you can get Veteran Track gloves and Champion Track helmet from this vendor, and then you can catalyze these items. So these can get you 2 out of your 4 tier pieces basically for free if you're doing the Emerald Dream at all. And then you just need to get lucky with 2 slots instead of with your other slots. And that is a lot easier. If you also do, the weekly quest in here for a worthy ally, this bag can give you catalyzable gear. And the bag from the Super Bloom weekly quest can also give you catalyzable gear from this person here. So those are good sources of gear that you can catalyze, that you can make your tier out of as well. And again, that's as simple as just kind of doing Emerald Dream stuff, getting your rep up, doing the weeklies you want to do anyways. LFR in general, great source of gear too. The Veteran Track gear, you can upgrade with Whelplings all the way up to 450, I think. And then you can upgrade with Drake Streaming Crests all the way up to 463. Drake Streaming Crests come from normal raid and from like low keys. But you can also get a bunch of them from the campaign in the Emerald Dream. And there's actually a Blue Dragonflight campaign quest that you can pick up from the top of the Seat of the Aspects if you want to get some more Drake Streaming Crests as well to upgrade some more stuff to 463. It's not... I don't think it's a great use of your time, probably, but if you really want to make your character better without doing group content, you want to just do something useful while you're logged in and playing the game, but you don't want to actually do any kind of anything you have to queue for or find a group for, then that could be something to look into. Other items that are worth thinking about as well is the weekly events. So there are 2 weekly events that can happen that are very good for gearing new characters. One of them is the dungeon event, which the next one is Tuesday, February the 13th. This one gives you a quest that says, hey, if you do 4 mythic dungeons, you will get a heroic raid piece, a random item from the raid on heroic difficulty, which will generally be on the hero track, upgradable all the way up to 483. And that's quite good. That's a quite good outcome. And you can do this quest in Mythic 0 dungeons. You don't have to do M+. Obviously, if you're playing an alt that is doing M+, that's great. Do 4 M+ dungeons. But even if you're playing like a total rat character, you can maybe find 4 other people who are in a similar spot, and you can just run 4 Ruby Life Pools plus zeros and get yourself that free heroic piece, which is very nice. The other event to look out for is the time walking events, which actually are more frequent even. The next time walking event is January the 30th even, and there was one last week as well, so it's every like 3 weeks. And these time walking events will give you, there's a quest to do 5 time walking dungeons. The time walking dungeons themselves give like adventure track gear, which is quite bad. It's easier to get better gear from just crafting it with the Enchanted Whelpling's crest we talked about at the start of this video. But there's a weekly quest that gives you a random piece of normal raid gear. And several of the time walking weeks also have an associated raid that you can time walk to. So the Wrath one, you can go to time walking Ulduar. The Cataclysm one, you can go to time walking Firelands. And those raids have an associated quest that will give you actually a heroic raid piece if you complete them. And it's very easy to do those on alts as well because your eye level gets scaled anyways in time walking. So you're not even like under geared for that content. It'll be fine. So that can be a good source of, extra gear. If it's one of those weeks, take a look at what the calendar says, and you can see if that's something that you want to bother doing. And then other than that, it's just do all the all the content in the game that you like doing or you want to do, and start picking up the items from that. But doing these steps, you can give yourself a pretty quick early kit of 2 pieces of tier, right, from the Renown vendor, and then the Catalyst. 2 pieces of 476 embellished gear from the 2 Enchanted Worms crests that you can get from, again, the campaign Kill Fireack quest and from the Renown track. And you can then be kitted out otherwise in a bunch of 447s from the Enchanted Whelpling's crests that you can get from flying around in the Dream Surge. So you can be like eye level 450, 455, even higher if you do more of the LFR raid and upgrade more of that gear without doing really anything difficult in the game. And then you can start doing that stuff with the benefit of all that extra gear. So that's my little guide thing to gearing up new characters in patch 10.2.5. I'm sure that I've missed something useful or good to remember, so if you have heard what I've missed, write it down in the comments below. And if you are watching this video and looking for tips, scroll down to the comments below, and probably some of the top thumbs up comments will have some really good tips that I have forgotten to mention here. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope it helped. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.